Hello everybody, my name is Dovydas. I'm a parkour athlete from Lithuania, and today I'm going to be talking with Gilbert Gizel. He's a parkour athlete from Johannesburg, South Africa. He's been practicing parkour for almost 10 years now, and he's a member of a team called Kaizen Parkour. So we're going to discuss Africa, how Africa is portrayed in media, and of course parkour. So you can check the Kaizen team and Gilbert out in the description below and enjoy. Okay, so how are you?
I'm alright, man. How you doing, man?
Good. So can you introduce yourself?
My name is Gilbert Dovi. I stay in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm 23 years old. And I'm from a team called Kaizen Parkour as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your nationality?
Nationality, I'm originally from Malawi, but I've been staying here in South Africa for 23 years.
So maybe parkour helped you to get in contact with Europe or USA?
Yeah, a lot. That's a crazy thing. A lot of people from overseas, from Africa, around Africa as well, just because of parkour. For instance, 2015, I was able to keep in touch with a group called Inspire Tour. So what they do is they just travel around the world, like they're a parkour group, they're like a group of friends. They're a group of friends. What they do is they travel around the world, just start traveling and just, it's like exploring around the countries of the world and just moving, just doing parkour and stuff like that. So now, so one of the guys from here, from South Africa around here, I met him through Facebook, and he was part of that group as well. There was some group of friends from USA, Switzerland, Sweden and stuff like that. So they were able to link up, and then they were able to get a chance to come here into South Africa as well. So now when they came here, I was able to meet one of the guys from here for the first time because of that group as well, when they were able to come into South Africa. So it did create a good bond and relationship in the long run as well.
That's awesome.
So it wasn't only for that tour where we just met, but, in the long run, we're able to meet for certain things, we're able to do gigs together, we're able to go to certain events together, which I was not thinking I was going to be able to attend, very, very big events like music awards, like African Music Awards. So you can imagine how that link and connection can, take you anywhere, when you meet new people and stuff like that.
So, in general, parkour can get you far. You can become a stuntman, you can be a performer in big events. Like you said, what do you think is the biggest misconception about Africa in general? Because in Lithuania, people think that Africa is a very poor country, that there's lions running around here, stuff like that. These are the stereotypes.
That's always the stereotype. There's definitely not lions running around, that I can assure you that. You will find that in zoos, of course. And Africa is, like I said, it's a very beautiful place. Kind people and stuff like that. And we've gotten used to people saying, it's a very poor country. Of course, there are some countries which are underdeveloped at some points, but at the same time, they're still beautiful to visit as well, because you learn so much things. What makes Africa so beautiful is the different cultures which are there to explore as well. You can go into this country, there's a different culture, and they have customs which they respect, things that makes them who they are as a country as well. There's so many things that we learn into these things when you travel from one country to another. You find different things as well. So those are one of the main misconceptions. And for instance, I have heard people say, I was not expecting to know that there's parkour in Africa. It's things like that.
And what stereotypes irritate you the most?
The most is definitely the one of where they say there's always lions and animals just walking around the streets of Africa, which I don't think is true at some point. And people getting surprised that there isn't talent in Africa as well. There is so much talent, so many many talents. Things that
Hmm.
you can see, explore around. Like
So
for it,
the last years, Red Red Bull Art of Motion's winners from Africa, yeah.
yeah, he's from Morocco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it just shows you like the environment and the places he's exposed to that he's able to get his training very well. It
Yeah,
shows you that
yeah.
there's so many things that he's doing in his Moroccan country that there is talent in Africa. And I'm sure he's the first African guy to win it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it just shows you that there's so many talent, especially here in South Africa. There is so much that people need to see. The only problem is we're not fully exposing ourselves out there,
Yeah,
to
and
the
like,
world.
what do you think about media's um, por- portraying, how media is portraying Africa?
In terms of the parkour, just Africa in general.
Like Africa in general.
Mm.
Like, what do you think? How media portrays it in Europe, in USA, and what is the reality?
Yeah, the good question. I think the media could do better in terms of how they portray the African continent. Like for instance, in movies, I've seen in movies sometimes they misdo the accents of how we talk, which I
Oh
have
yeah,
only
yeah.
seen. Like,
I know
I am,
the typical Hollywood film African
yeah,
accent. Yeah.
yeah, and I do not know any African that speaks like that. Honestly, like there is different African answers, but that is not how we speak at all. If
Yeah.
you wanted, for instance, if you wanted to do the African accent, why did you not get a real African to do it?
Yeah.
Simple things like that. But they always misconcept that type of thing and say this is how we speak as Africans and things like that. So I feel like the media could definitely do better. And we're always seen as the countries that are like suffering. Of course, we are suffering, but at certain
Yeah.
points, you need to show the positive side of things into the world of Africa, where that there's so many things to explore. So many people in the world. It's rare to hear so many people say, "I want to visit Africa," like I want to visit Ghana and things like that. It's more of the media portraying that you gotta visit Italy, you gotta visit Spain, you gotta visit France, because of what they've portrayed. They've shown you the Eiffel Tower to say it's beautiful, go there,
Yeah.
Compared to here, they have not shown you like the beautiful side of things, like Zanzibar, you know, like Mount Everest, you see nice things like that, but it's not fully portrayed to show that go visit these places as much as, we're shown the other negative side of things of Africa and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's nice to see like how generations change in parkour, and it changes fast because like
Yeah.
people go to universities, your friends go out of town, then you
Yeah.
see little kids starting to jump
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
and then you just feel old,
Yeah, exactly. That's like the best thing we've always seen most of the time. Like when we're traveling to different places, we see how it's easy to influence people, especially when we
Yeah.
go to the parks. When we go to the parks, we look like mad people, or we like foreigners in certain places, like,
Yeah.
people who don't understand what you're trying to do. Like when we're just there, we're not going there to jump so we can just show off to people. We're just going there to train for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then it's easy for us to gain people's attention because what we're doing.
I like that part about parkour too because you can get a lot of attention out of
A
it.
lot,
Yeah.
exactly, a lot. So it's just how you just there trying to train and mind your own business, doing your own thing. It's easy for one side to just easily look. So the moment you're training, the next thing you're trying to do stuff, next thing you just see there's a whole crowd just watching, just
Yeah.
like and for me that brings me a lot of pressure now. I'm like but at the same time I just keep it cool and just just keep on training like it's normal. And next
Yeah.
thing, the moment you're still training there, now you just see kids on the side now just doing the stuff you're doing as well. But of course you don't want them to do things which are like very risky.
Yeah.
But they're just doing the normal basic flips and stuff like that. It warms your heart to just say, oh, this is cool. At least
Yeah.
kids are getting influenced into the little things what you do, which is like the cool part about parkour is the influences it brings positive influences at the end of the day. So that's the cool part about it.
Okay, and the last question. How did parkour change your life?
Um, it has changed my paths in many ways, many ways. Like I said, I was I've been able to go to places where I did not think I was going to be able to go to. It's given me a chance to travel as well, to meet new people that have also inspired me to, get better in my movement as well. And for instance, I've never been to a province like, let's say, another district of South Africa, KZN. It was a nice experience when I was able to go with my crew into another district of the country. That gave me a nice experience seeing a different part of South Africa. Things like that.
Yeah.
Because I was too used to jamming in South Africa, one place in Johannesburg the whole time. It was more of Johannesburg, but I was not able to see other parts of the country. So for me, it was like, let me try other places, and that gave me a good connection to the other parts of the parkour community in the country. So so things like that, and then at the same time, it also helped me, like you said, understand who I am as a person. And most of the time, that has kept me out of trouble. Because most of the time when I'll be training, I'm not up to no bad things. Not doing any crimes. That things I'm avoiding. I'm just mostly focused on training. Getting the better of myself. Doing things which are supposed to be right and things like that. And at the same time, your training can inspire other people as well. That's the best part about it. As much as you can inspire yourself, you're also inspiring other people. People want to train because they see what you're doing out there because of parkour. Because when people see the light shine through yourself, it can also shine upon them as well. Things like that, the simple things. So that has impacted me so much more. And yeah.
Okay, so thank you for this interview. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. It was an honor being here for the first episode. Thank you so much.
So, best of luck.
Thank you.
See you then.
Thank you. Likewise, please share me your videos. I want to check them out as well, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
see you.
All right, cheers. Take care.
So you've heard parts of the interview with Gilbert, and we discussed the problems with the portrayal of Africa. And I would like to debunk the top 3 most common African stereotypes. So the first stereotype I would like to talk about that I hear a lot is that Africa is not innovative. And honestly, I understand why people think that way. Because when most of the articles are about African tribes, people can make the wrong impression about the whole continent. When in reality, the majority of African citizens live in cities or towns, have jobs, and live a normal life. For example, Africans even invented drones, traffic regulating robots, and even the Mercedes S-Class interior design. So repeat after me. Stereotypes and articles about African tribes do not represent the whole continent. The second stereotype I have heard of is that Africa is a country. Africa consists of 54 different countries, a population of over 1 billion people, and is the second largest continent in the world. So imagine how difficult it would be to control a country that size. So no, it's not a country. And the final stereotype I would like to debunk is that Africa is all savannas and wild nature. When you Google the word Africa, the images you'll see will probably be of elephants, giraffes, big trees, and I think this happened because of travel agencies. Because these kind of images, they may attract the possible buyers because they're exotic, and that's why they're advertised so much. But it surely doesn't mean that all Africans live in some wooden huts in the wild. Also, if this stereotype were true, it would be impossible to practice parkour, because parkour is designed to overcome obstacles like gates, ledges, walls. And there aren't many of them in the wild, are they? So I think the amount of people practicing parkour in Africa just shows that this continent has many beautiful cities with great infrastructure. So thank you for listening. I hope it was interesting, and goodbye.